Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Saturday, February 24th. It's 1:32 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. Market's interesting today. Let's check it out. All right, here, as always, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. One something I definitely always endorse every time around is blockchain education. Check it out. If you click that link, you do get a wonderful little discount, and it's worthwhile. Come join the team. Come in for the big win. It's all about any trading methodology you might have, whatever you may be trading, the methodology that blockchain education is, and that we hang out in the chat every day. We're working on together. We are very crypto specific there, but whether you're crypto specific or anything else, you trade corn futures, it doesn't really matter. The methodology is it works anywhere. We're just very focused on crypto there. Well, anyway, check it out. Click the link there, and you'll be glad you did. All right. Looking at Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours, we are at 2.8 billion. That's down 57%. That's both over the last 24 hours. So 2.8 billion in volume and down 57% last 24 hours. So Bitcoin definitely slowing down big time for the weekend. Looking at the market here on the hourly, one thing I would notice is that this morning we had a bit of a pump, which definitely wrecked a megaton of shorts. So people definitely were figuring that Bitcoin was going to go lower. It pumped, and you know what? They walked right into the whale's hands because, this is a little bit, I'm not seeing any really strong velocity upwards or downwards that I would start making any really leverage trades in Bitcoin at this very moment. We'll look at that. But anyway, with that said, let's keep on rocking. Looking at Blockchain Whispers, let's see. I think Blockchain Whispers has checked out on us here. All right, there, Blockchain Whispers. Okay, we will. Oh no, the whole browser hung up. Oh, that's not good. Dunk. Okay, little browser, you gonna come back around here? Okay, it did. Thank heavens. All right, so hope this is all still recording. Okay, Blockchain Whispers. We're gonna just try to get past that one. Let's see if we can. We'll see if this browser wakes up. There we go. Okay. Not going to look at, darn it. Okay, here we go. There we go. We'll just avoid that tab there. Sorry about that. Looking at, sorry guys, I'm like, what am I doing? Must focus. Here we go. Anyway, looking at coin market cap here, definitely all the big 20 exchanges, except for one or two, are in the green. And in the red, I'm sorry, whatever's up with the L bank here is crazy. That's some wild price of volume. This is spot trading volume last 24 hours. Do I dare look at BitMEX positions again? No, I'm not going to. That's probably a bad idea. All right, looking at, oh my goodness, this browser is not having a good day. Sorry about that. Something revved my util way up. Anyway, looking at this, Bitcoin in the top 100, Bitcoin coming in at 51,562. That's wonderful. We do have some alts, but alts in general are kind of either barely in the green or in the green today. I like what I'm seeing. One thing that's kind of exciting is a Near protocol. We'll look at that when we get out of here. Near, Near. Near is kind of cool. It's a real project. I do like it. Ethereum Classic up 2%. I like seeing that. XRP 1.2, Solana 2.8. Anyway, we have a nice looking run here. Some are visiting the top 100, which I'm not really familiar with, like Blur, 22% up. I'll take that. Woo, kind of a cool looking one. Woo is a 16% up. What is Woo anyway? So anyway, with that said, Axie Infinity, one's only up 3.3%. Actually, we really have kind of a nice day here for the alts. Some definitely are running. So let's see. I'll keep my eye on the chat there just in case anybody is watching live. You guys ping me and I will chart anything that tickles your fancy. Anyway, with that said, let's keep on moving. Looking at the dollar strength index today and gold and silver, and oh my, I think my browser's had it today. What's going on here? This is really strange. I wonder what is actually pushing this utilization up so high. Come on now, you can do it. Well, anyway, we might just give up early today, and maybe I'll just, sorry about this, we're having some massive technical difficulties. Okay, can I get to this? How about, what if I kill that? Sorry, guys. This is like, come on now. Well, we're kind of looking at a blank screen here. Okay, cool. I got this to come up. Bitcoin, anyway, gold and silver were uneventful. Gold above the 200 moving average on the daily, silver below. Silver kind of challenging that 200 moving average. Both kind of did a little up gain before the end of the week. So we'll see if those continue. Right now, they're kind of meh. I mean, ultimately, if I was a dollar cost averager on gold and silver, wouldn't be a bad weekend or week to buy. Anyway, just not incredibly exciting charts. DXY on the 200 moving average, trying to see if it wants to get over it on the daily. I'm hesitant to go back and even look at this. Can I go back? Crud. It's going to hang up on me. I kind of want to look at those the DXY and oil and gold and silver, but okay, it won't do it. Anyway, sorry guys. You're in the midst of a browser crash here. So I was going to look at some news and stuff too, but let's just see if any of this works. Okay, so here is Bitcoin. Really, it's just not an exciting time right now. If I get very creative with this channel, I can kind of do something like this. I know it's a little bit out there, but I think it does have value to get a little bit creative with your channel sometimes. And if we look, this is a 45-minute chart. I know it's very, very immediate price action, but really what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing, I'm just like I say, I'm being a little bit creative here, but it's a low. There's another low. So a lower low, lower low. I'm going to call this a lower low, another lower low. And ultimately, here's a high. These are all kind of uneventful, not really higher highs. They're ultimately lower lows. I mean, a high, I call it all these kind of lower highs, even if they're, line up with each other. Then, of course, you have another lower high. And you have another lower high. So you're just not seeing anything very exciting. This thing is on a gentle trend down. Let me actually nix all the indicators. Boom. And if we look right here, what's happening, we are trying to challenge that 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart, got rejected. I pushed hard this morning, definitely wrecked a lot of shorts, but overall, this is just a meh kind of chart. Bitcoin is, if it can challenge that 200 and get over it, great. Right now the 314 is the green one and the 200 is the white one. So the faster the slower is now over the faster, and that's kind of bearish, honestly. And so let's look at this same chart here on a 4 hour. I'm sorry. And when I look at this guy here, I'm just kind of worried about, like, say, the BART patterns are the way of Bitcoin. So definitely, we had a bunch of lead up here, those blue diamonds and pink Barbies underneath those. That's all crossing the 200 moving average, up and down. So we had this kind of consolidation time. Bitcoin was gaining some power after it definitely had, given a lot back here, you can see. And so, bam, it took off. But right now, I'm kind of worried that we're seeing sort of a plateau. And when you see those plateaus like that, Bitcoin usually tends to just complete with a bar pattern. So will we see a nice dump to the 200 moving average, which really is right around 46,235 right now? So could that be the case? Maybe so. Let's actually take Bitcoin here on the 4-hour chart. Let's actually, for one thing, let's look at indicators real quick. Come on, there we go. Okay, so we've had our squeeze indicator begin to roll over towards the positive. I like that. Directional index is in the green. ADX is beginning to move up. No extraordinary volume. So this is weekend. So we're going to have, right now we're not kicking a lot of volume right now. So we might be beginning to roll over. I'm just not exactly very trustful of this moment. Let's actually do a little fib sequence here. Sorry, wrong one. Fib sequence. Let's go way back here in the 4-hour and look at this thing. So this is what's speaking to me actually here. This fib sequence actually fits very, very well. And the better they fit, to me, the more accurate they are. And so where's that 200 moving average? It's right there above the 0.5 fib level. And then, of course, below that is the 0.314. And so you've definitely got the 0.5 fib level at 45,797. So to me, I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, I think definitely when we were between the 0.618 and the 0.786 here, we were consolidating, definitely gaining some power to make a move, and Bitcoin certainly has. but are we going to see a retrace? And I'm just kind of thinking it's a 4-hour chart. Some might consider that rather immediate price action, but really a cruise down to the 200 and a bounce. I could see that 200 is right around 46,235. I could see that. I could see a cruise down and a bounce off the .5 fib level, which would be right between the 200 and the 314. Very logical spot for it. That's at 45,797. I think that's actually the 5 is again. So really that .5 fib level is kind of extraordinary. And it's right between the 200 and the 314 right now. So like I say, 45,797. If I wanted to put a limit order in, I think today I'd have it at 45,800. Not financial advice, just saying that's probably what I do. The 618 is a great place to bounce down to do a retrace from. I mean, that definitely gets you ready to get back on the move. If that happened, that'd be around between 44,103 and 43,644. And if we go below that down to the 786, that's 41,692 for a bounce. So anyway, where are we going to bounce? We may continue up, but right now, let's look at the indicators once again here on the 4-hour chart. We're kind of rolling over. It almost looks towards the positive, but right now we're in a weekend, low volume. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Myself, really, I'll be honest with you, just to be, full disclosure, I guess you could say, as we've been just cruising along this range up here, it's not a comfortable spot for me. I'm not seeing any, mega momentum, really up or down right now. So, but I am seeing low volume, which makes manipulation quite easy, and I'm out. I actually just the amount of Bitcoin that I do hedge in and out of, I hedged out. So I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to do something, and that's when I will. So I just kind of grabbed a lot of the profits on the way up just recently. And I'll just hang out. Of course, I always have my forever sort of Bitcoin hodl, but I do swing in and out. Right now, I'm just out waiting for something to happen. And we do have a request here. It says, "Can you please check Litecoin?" Yes, let's do Litecoin, LTC USDT. Look at it on Binance where the mega volume is. I'm glad my browser's working again. I'm not sure what was going on there. All right, Litecoin. Here's the thing. It's a 4-hour chart. If we look at the 4-hour chart, let's get a little bit tight here. Something I do like on here is, look at this W pattern. W pattern. See that? W patterns usually equal win. 4-hour chart. And also the squeeze indicator is beginning to turn up. Directional index is back in the green. ADX is not quite turned up yet. No extraordinary volume, but the market's kind of not seeing a lot of volume. Well, alts are making moves, but Bitcoin's not seeing a lot of volume. So look at this 4-hour chart. We have a nice move above the 200 moving average and the 314. Purple. These candles by Sam turn purple when you have lined up bodies like that. It's beginning to slow down right now. It doesn't surprise me because you are looking at previous support and resistance here in the chart, which is a spot you naturally would find a little bit of resistance. I can kind of do a horizontal ray right there, and you can see there's some previous support and resistance there. So it's trying to figure out what it wants to do. Overall, it looks positive. I would say the real trick with Litecoin is to see if it breaks above these previous if it continues the upwards energy and gets past some of these previous highs. Each one of those is going to be a spot where it may find resistance. But let's go look at a daily chart. All right, this is beautiful. So on the daily chart, if we look at this thing, okay, so yeah, Litecoin really ran a while ago. As we can see, it gave a lot back, and now if we do look, we're starting to see some upwards energy here on the daily chart that I like seeing because you can kind of do like this. You can kind of see, if you want to get a little creative, and I do believe in that with your, let's just go with it. That's really wonderful. Let's make this where you can see it. You can see here in the daily chart, look what it's been doing. I want to make circles all over the screen, but so you've got like hopefully you can see this. You have a low, lower high, or you say a low, then you have a higher low, way higher low, and things kind of go wrong. But if you stretch this out, really you have another higher low, then you have another higher low, now you have another higher low, and your lower highs have been a little bit inconclusive, that's fine. Uh, of course, you had a high, higher low, a high, then a higher high, then a higher high, then a lower high, lower high, lower high. But do look at the indicators here. Look at the squeeze momentum indicator. It's starting to turn green. It's still in a squeeze. That's not too bad. I like what I'm seeing there. A directional index, it's pointing the wrong way. ADX is not too positive, but still, we just saw on the daily something that's pretty powerful. Is we've been riding this 200 moving average. Just made a nice strong candle bounce off of it, and that's a cool thing. Now, how long will that last? That's really hard to say. How's it looking on the 3-day chart? Weekly. Well, you can even see the you can kind of see that upwards momentum on the weekly as well. It's below the 200 moving average, but it's beginning to trend up. Squeeze indicator on the weekly, it's given a lot back and it's beginning to turn up. Look at that. So definitely, it's given a lot back. We could also look at the weekly if we want it. Look at the daily too. But like looking at the weekly here, what if I was to, let's have some fun. Let's do this. Where are we in fib land? If I go way down here and go up to that high, looking at a weekly, look at that. We're kind of with a slight upwards momentum off that. Well, that 786 is where we came back down to. Upwards momentum. We hung out by the golden pocket, 618. Now we're above it. This is a tough one to call. I mean, let's look at a daily. Daily looks nice too. I like that. How the indicators. Positive. So I guess what I would say right now with Litecoin is we're seeing some nice upwards momentum on the 45-minute chart, beginning to cool off a little bit. If you look at the 4-hour chart, it's looking nice. Nice strong bounce back above the 200 moving average. You've got your W, your win pattern. I like that. The squeeze indicator and directional index are looking good. I myself, if I was going to play Litecoin right this very moment, what I would do is, I love this nice upwards momentum it has here on the 45-minute chart. Good things are happening. I would just do this. I think we're in a positive spot. I'm seeing some good indicators here. I love this W pattern. You can see here on the 45-minute chart. That's kind of beautiful. That usually signifies win, in my opinion. So we're looking good. I would just wait for Bitcoin to do this. Like if I was in, I'd probably feel confident. Would I buy right now? What I would do, honestly, is let it give some back. You can tell it wants to. I think on the 45-minute chart, we'll see a 200 moving average balance will continue. Maybe even go below it for a little bit. Let this squeeze indicator roll over. And then if all is still well, if you are above the 200 moving average at that point, if you stay above on the 45-minute chart, or don't go below it very long, and you come back up, then I think it definitely, I'd let Litecoin roll over as it wants to. Fine, it's, it needs to do one of these. It needs to have in the green, then back in the red. The directional index is looking good. I mean, ADX is in the right spot. It could continue. I'm just going to wait for this thing to, because see, it could actually go do one of these deals where it kind of goes doesn't go into the red. It kind of goes down and then goes back into the green and then just continues up. I don't know. This is kind of a faith one here. I would say, is this one that I'd get into right this moment? I'm going to wait for it to retrace a bit and then go back towards the green. I'm just going to see where this guy goes. I think we're going to see a little bit of retracement here on the 45-minute chart. I could look at an hourly. Yeah, I'd wait for that hourly 314 or 200 moving average bounce, or look at the 45-minute chart and see how that's doing. Give Litecoin a little time, let it retrace, and then see if it's in a spot where you want to get back to it. I do really love this. You can see on the hourly chart really strong. That W pattern's awesome. That's win. Just let it retrace in the hourly, let it retrace in the 45. Make sure when it actually turns back up, these indicators turn back up. Or I always say that this is tough because it could continue. It's a pretty strong chart. Myself, I'm going to keep an eye on Litecoin because I like it. And I'm just going to wait for a little retrace here. Let it turn back up. If the indicator still looks strong and it's below the 200 moving average on the on the 4-hour, I'm sorry, on the hour and the 45-minute chart, I'm going to be like feeling good. On the 4-hour chart, we're above still. I mean, that's just very, very powerful. I like seeing that. I don't just give it one of these. Just let, like, here the indicators are beginning to turn positive. So 4 hours looking good. Watch the 4-hour continue to turn positive, like the squeeze indicator there. Directional index to continue in the green, ADX to turn up. Let's look for some little like volume spikes here. And I think we're going to see Litecoin probably continue. It's a tough call right now. I'm going to let it. I think it's going to retrace a bit, and that's where I would find a spot when it begins to turn around. That maybe I would hop in, but right now it's extended. Like if I had bought Litecoin right in that 200 moving average cross, now that it's slowing down, I'd be out. So now I'm going to wait for it to retrace a little bit. It might even retrace back down at the 4-hour 200 moving average, and then continue again. And the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart is coming in at right around 68.75 or so. So anyway, guys, that's what I can tell you. No other requests. Let me just look real quick. Will any of this actually work? Oh, I think this is what's screwing me up. I wonder. I think it's this YouTube that I have open. I had it paused, but it's screwing me up. Anyway, I can't really share it, so I won't bother because the page won't come up. But I think this is probably what's killing me. David Rogers, he's the guy who wrote the Great Taking, and there's a video here that he did. It's an interview with him, and in an hour he kind of summarizes the whole thing. And if you like listen to it 2x, he talks kind of slow. You can get through it in half an hour. And what can I tell you? I'm sorry you can't see the picture, but I'll share it in the as a comment to the video. Yeah, that's what screwed me up, is right there. It's that stupid thing. And I will share that so you can see. I'll put it in a comment in the video. The next financial crisis. It's worth watching if you want to, this whole David Rogers thing. The Great Taking. I don't know. I think he's betting too much on one thing. Being like, whenever anyone tells me everything is about this one thing, I kind of tend to doubt them. And then if they tell me that, hey, look, we're going to fix it by fixing the system that, controls us. So he's like, the legislation, we can stop the Great Taking. And I'm like, so the governments that are out to, the interests that control things, everything that wants to change humanity's way of existence, if you just regulate them by laws that are created by states, by countries that they have control over, then you're safe. So I think David Rogers is a little bit, he ain't wrong, but he's betting too much on a theory, and he's not wrong. Everything he's saying is factual, but I wouldn't let it get you down. If you ever have been interested in the Great Taking and you wanted to really get a quick mega, download on what it's about, listen to him at 2x in this interview, and you'll have a great idea of what it's about. And for the most part, his take on it at the end is, we have to have legislation on the country level and the state level to protect us from the central banks and the globalists, you could say. He has no real advice on how to do that other than, legislation. Like I say, you're going to legislate the countries and states that are the servants of, who wants to take us out. So I don't know. I think he's a little bit of a nut, just to be honest with you. But with that said, he ain't wrong. He could be right. In the end, he just kind of says, well, have a stock pantry. And he's like, are there any safe assets? He's like, no, they'll take everything from us eventually. So anyway, David Rogers is a Great Taking. If you're into that, check it out. I'll put it as a comment. It has some value. The next financial crisis could trigger a Bitcoin revolution. This is over here on Bitcoin, on TradingView. It's by this guy. What's his name? Yeah, What Bitcoin Did. Anyway, this guy's not one of my favorite dudes. This is What Bitcoin Did. His podcast is all right, but I think he kind of sums up himself right here. I am an idiot, and I often get things wrong and lose money. I think that's what I would say about his podcast. Sorry, I would. But anyway, he makes a point. Just, you know what? and a lot of people are speculating. We'll see. My answer right now to the great taking, and also will Bitcoin pump as we have financial, if the monetary system is meltdown, especially if we have massive distrust in the dollar and countries have to just basically hedge out because we're just too damn we weaponize it to too great of an extent. What country will we eventually not agree with in some way then sanction? So you know what I mean. We're isolating ourselves. And so, will there be a Bitcoin revolution? Yeah, well, you know what? It's hard to tell. All they got to do is call it terrorism, and then it's not going to be a revolution in your country now, is it? So, like myself, I do daily swings. I hedge in and out of Bitcoin. I trade crypto in general, alts, but when it comes to my Bitcoin, I just do swing trades when it's going up, and when it's going down, I'm out. And I don't leverage it hardly ever, really. In fact, I do it so unless it's such an incredible velocity in one direction, I don't really short or long. I just buy and sell, which I know is shorting and long with no leverage. But anyway, financial crisis could trigger Bitcoin revolution. Maybe. It looks like it has been recently. So, I mean, really, we're halfway to 100K, and I'll be swinging in and out, and I will catch most of it, but I'm definitely not going to catch it if it dumps. I'll have my limit. I'll have like my stop loss, hopefully in profit, and bam, I'll be out if it turns around. I'm not shorting or riding the ship to the bottom of the ocean. Shorting with leverage. Okay, will this thing change browsers? Yeah, Russia has been a long and elaborate lie. This is an interesting one. You'll see over at Zero Hedge as well if you care to look. It just basically says, it doesn't have to be Russia specific. I just wanted to mention this just in case by chance, all narratives right now by the mainstream media, all narratives are a lie. So including this one. So just wanted to mention that if this thing will come up here. Alexei Navalny, this guy here, sorry, the page isn't coming up, but they had an article over at Zero Hedge. And I just wanted to mention, this is another one of these things where we have our Western media saying like, oh man, we got to go after the Russian dude, the Putin, because of Alexei Navalny, whatever. You got to look at his history. He was in and out of jail long before Putin ever heard of the guy, and he definitely was an intelligence agency asset of two different countries. Anyway, this guy is saying that like the Putin would have interest in this guy and take him out. I'm not saying he didn't. Or some aspect of the government didn't, but I'm just saying that to say that like the little Putin would care about Alexei Navalny is like saying that like Joe Biden would care about Marianne Williamson as a threat. It's stupid. None of this, everything's jammed up. I had some cool articles I was going to go over, but unfortunately, this thing is jammed, and hopefully it didn't screw the recording up. But anyway, guys, sorry, my browser's hung up. I was going to just say disclose TV, this article that won't come up here. Oh, it did. It did. Thank God. Here we go. Alexa, Newland on Ukraine. We have to remember that the bulk of this money is going right back into the U.S. to make those weapons. So I don't want to click on another link because it may jam us up. I'll do one more before I go, and if it hangs up, we'll just be done. But one of the ways that they're like selling the war, so now they're kind of going, well, we can't sell it with Alexei Navalny. He was just a thug that died in prison, like many do. The whole story is made up. As far as did the Putin take him out, I really doubt it. I don't think he could be bothered. I don't think he cared about, I just don't think so. Anyway, with this said, you've got like, little Miss Newland here, who, if you've never watched Ukraine on Fire, for heaven's sakes, watch it, pay for it. It's like $2 or $3 on YouTube. Watch it, Ukraine on Fire. Look at this lady's history and look at that ugly head. I mean, my God, don't even tell me she's like a good person. Ew, good people don't look like that. Okay. And so the issue is that she's like, if we don't stop Putin in Ukraine, he'll keep going. No, not necessarily. What she's really saying is, can I get this link to work over here? We'll see. This next link is about USC's Ukraine as this great weapons testing lab. See, it goes from like, he won't stop to, oh, this guy was killed. He died in prison. Sorry, he died in prison, but I don't think Putin really cared about it. He got Russia. He had the whole like Russian election collusion thing. He had like the And now they're selling the you've got a lot of governors and people like in the House saying if this war is so great because a lot of this money doesn't leave the country, it's helping to spark our economy, and like Ukrainians are dying, not Americans. And now you have like WAPO, this article I can't get to pull up. They're saying like we're just doing so much like R&D on weapons and warfare in Ukraine. It's just so great. They're selling like this basically as like a monetary thing, like we're making so much money, and unfortunately one of the things that I saw an article about funding today is, well, really there's not much to fund as far as you can't print artillery shells. So ultimately what is really happening is, from what I saw, this is one guy's opinion who wrote an article this morning, was like we're really actually funding their forced conscription. And so for the most part, all we're really doing is we're funding their government. We're making money here, with the military industrial complex. And we're just sending, poor characters conscripted. Here's your rifle, go that way and get blown up. So anyway, all I'm saying is the world's crazy. Bitcoin is kind of, to me, a safe haven of sanity, but I do swing it in and out. I just don't sit in it. No investment's really completely safe. So I do swing in and out, although I think overall it will probably win. But we're right now, we are in a existential and physical, conflict in this world against, well, let's just say angels and demons. And we're in the midst of it. And if you're a Bitcoin truth seeker, I'm really glad, because somehow or the other, we are like on the timeline, the collective timeline. There's two right now, and we're on the one that is a rocket ship to Pluto when it comes to enlightenment, self-awareness, and happiness and wealth. So just stick with it. I'll try to get on every time I can and share a little bit of news, share a little bit of Bitcoin stuff. Sorry, I'm just not trading today. I will be trying to hit it tomorrow. If I'm trading, I'll share the alts that I'm looking at. I think right now I'll be looking tonight. I'll be looking in the morning, and I'll see if I can, if Sunday is appropriate, I'll try to do a video no matter what. But if we find some beautiful setups, I'll let you know what I'm getting into, and maybe we'll look at Litecoin again, look at Bitcoin, we'll look at some alts and see if anything is sweet for getting into. I tend to just talk about longs, really. I guess I could start throwing in some shorts too. Whether they're just targets on when to sell or when you might want to short if you're a shorter. And I'll try to throw in some futures, because I know some people, they like their futures. MEXC is a big deal these days. I don't know if I have an affiliate link over at Bitcoin Daily View, but I can't give you financial advice. But if you like to short, then MEXC might be a place to hop on. Anyway, guys, take care, and I will see you again as soon as I damn well can. Take care.